I woke up one morning and Trevor was throwing dishes. He was only 11 years old at the time, and he was throwing them like a world-class discus thrower. It was everything, mugs, dishes, you name it.
I once made this mug for my parents. It's like, one of those art projects you do in school. It had my handprint inside, and I love Mom and Dad written all over it. And he destroyed that. And Mom thought it was so impressive that he could destroy everything that it's... Thanks, guys.
When I asked Trevor why he did it, he just growled.
I saw on Oprah that it's quite common for a boy entering puberty to experience a spike in his physical prowess. I mean, it was a mess to clean up, that's for sure.
I chalked it up as one of those things that kids go through. And everything went back to normal for a while until there was that incident with the dog.
Max was awesome. He was the greatest dog ever, But it was like having a stuffed animal, But he loved you, and he licked you, and he was warm, and you could sleep late at night, and he would be there. He was comfort, everything. He was just happy, and he would sleep with me every time. But one night, my awesome big brother, Trevor, snuck into my room with a butcher knife, and he split him open, he looked at me, and I looked back, and he came up and put a knife to my throat.
I never liked that dog. He had too many fleas.
Elliot was the first to say that Trevor might be possessed. I thought he was being dramatic, but then he climbed the walls while vomiting blood. I could deal with replacing kitchenware and burying a dog, but the blood and acrobatics were really troubling. Then again, it could have been worse. He could have flunked out of school.
It was my first date with Elena Hastings. It was my one shot, and I worked so fucking hard for that date. And here comes Trevor, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna spill a whole fucking gallon of blood all over your date. Ha ha ha."
Then he started speaking in tongues.
Trevor is multilingual. It's great for entering the workforce.
I thought he was on drugs because of his voice. It didn't sound like him. He sounded like a Turkish truck driver after 6 packs of cigarettes, and, well, it worried me. Then he stopped speaking normally after that. I tried to take him to a doctor, but Maxine wouldn't hear of it. Nothing was wrong according to her. Trevor was the same boy he'd always had been. But he wasn't. I knew that.
Trevor is expressive, that's all.
He belongs to me.
I know this is an awful thing for a mother to say, but Elliot is just jealous of his brother. I mean, I do love him just as much, and he is my son, but he never had that light. Trevor has this imperceptible something about him. Elliot is normal, but Trevor is extraordinary.
I'm not a religious man, but maybe I should have been. Maybe this wouldn't have happened. After I saw what he did to Maxine.
He picked Mom up from the neck, and threw her across the room like a rag doll.
The thing in the living room was nothing. I mean, I do have a scar on my back now, but it's nothing. When I look in the mirror and I see the scar on my back, I just say, this means something. We have a bond. We're connected.
I begged them to get an exorcism. I'm not saying it would have worked, but it would have been something, I mean, he's in there somewhere, but he needs help.
The last words I heard Trevor say were, "He belongs to me."
I had him in my body for 9 months and 3 days. When he finally came, I held him in my arms and I looked into his eyes, and Robert wanted to send him away to a hospital. But what kind of mother would I be if I allowed that? No one's going to lay a hand on him. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just very special. And I've always known that. He would sit for hours in front of the walls, talking as if there were people there. He had these eyes that could see an entire world beyond us. He belongs to me.